Hey there, Gene Vino here from the Susquehanna River Basin Commission, and today I have a brief presentation on the Capital Area Greenbelt Expansion Project that I'd like to share with you in a virtual tour presentation. As you can see, this is the Wildwood Park campus riverfront area as it leads from Fort Hunter all the way past the beautiful offices and the Susquehanna River Basin Commission, where you'll see a sign about the formation of the commission, the compact, in 1971. If you decide to walk or ride your bike, take a few minutes for each of the signs. They're educational, they're informational, and I believe you will see a great deal of knowledge about the Susquehanna River. Managing stormwater, that sign appears, as you will see, rainfall over cities and towns which have more impermeable surfaces like roofs and parking lots. They predominantly end up as a stormwater runoff, increasing development and a warming climate are overwhelming the typical curb and gutter pipe drainage networks. As a result, public health, drinking water, recreation, aquatic ecosystems, they can be impacted. There is the history of the Susquehanna River Basin. It graces the front of our office at 4423 North Front Street. As you will read, it was created in 1971 as a partnership between the federal governments and the states of New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland. SRBC is a coordinating agency that provides management and oversight of water resources within the natural boundaries of the Susquehanna River drainage area across political boundaries of the states. Flooding along the Susquehanna, as you will read, is one of the most flood-prone watersheds in the nation and relies on a combination of dams, levees, and forecast tools to reduce flood risk to lives and property. It's a sophisticated computer-generated model of flood forecasts from the Middle Atlantic River Forecast Center. The forecasted stages are categorized as near flood, minor flood, moderate, or major flooding, and are used by emergency managers to take appropriate actions. The river and the Chesapeake Bay, the watershed. A watershed is also called a basin or a drainage basin, is an area of land that drains into a river, lake, or other body of water. Each of these streams in the Susquehanna River also has its own watershed. Please take a look at the drainage into the Chesapeake Bay. Hundreds of rivers, streams, creeks, and brooks drain right into the Susquehanna along its course to the bay. The Blue Mountain Water Gap. You will read here of the underlying geology as one of the factors that influence how, where, and why landforms, including water gaps, form. The geology of the area is complex, resulting from folding and faulting that occurred during the mountain building events over hundreds of millions of years ago. Working to keep rivers healthy. That's what we do. This is the mainstay of the staff at the Monitoring and Protection Offices of the Susquehanna River Basin Commission. As you will see, people rely on healthy rivers. They look for good drinking water, recreation, and industry, commerce. Healthy rivers support diverse aquatic ecosystems and also sustain plants and animals that live on the land. This is a great educational class, learning about aquatic life and the history of the Susquehanna River and the importance it is to the many citizens who live along it. As you walk, you will read and see about rare birds along the Susquehanna area of North Front Street, where you will see Sheets Island. It's designated by the Audubon Society as an important bird area. Many migrating bird species use these islands for breeding and nesting. As you walk, you may see some of the largest populations of yellow-crowned night herons. The yellow-crowned night heron are an endangered species in Pennsylvania. As you go through Wade Island, it is the only known breeding site in Pennsylvania for the great egret and has the state's largest colony of black-crowned night herons. The education of the hydrologic cycle as shown here, describes how water moves naturally throughout the environment. As you will read, an average of 50 billion gallons of rain falls in the Susquehanna River Basin daily, enough to fill Beaver Stadium at State College almost 100 times each day. Managing water use. Ben Franklin said it best, "When the well's dry, we know the worth of water." The Susquehanna River Basin provides drinking water for 6 million residents in New York, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, and water for industry, commerce, recreation, and energy production. These large operations are required to obtain permits so that water use can be sustainably managed across the basin. We all depend on water. It's our most precious resource. Aquatic invasive species. Yes, there are many that have found their way into the river that normally don't live in the Susquehanna River. Some were just tossed into the river by anglers or as an unused bait. Others were unwanted pets released by previous owners. Some hitched rides on boats and fishing gear from other places where they live. And still others expanded their ranges into the Susquehanna River by taking a new home and the advantage of the changing environment conditions that we find in the Susquehanna River. NASA graced the Susquehanna River with a picture on Earth Day, and I share this with you, the beautiful sight of, I call it, the mighty Susquehanna River. And that is the actual site where you'll be walking on the Fort Hunter Greenbelt Connector Trail. The Susquehanna River Basin Commission comprised of dedicated environmentalists, meteorologists, biologists, employees that are managing and protecting the waterways of the Susquehanna River on a day-to-day basis. We want to thank you for your time today. It's been a pleasure to present this information. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed putting it together. Have a wonderful day and keep up the good work in all you do.